Hey everybody, so today's video is not gonna be just an editing video, but more kind of a story video, where I really show you or explain to you how I got the picture, how I got there, and kind of what the situations were like. So this is actually one of my all-time favorite pictures, and it's really a very simplistic picture, but I absolutely love it, and it's also not a very vibrant and in-your-face kind of picture as some of my other pictures are, but I really love it for that simplicity. So first of all, let's just get started with a little bit of editing, and I'm definitely gonna crop the sky here to make it look something like this. And this picture was shot at the Quiraing on the Isle of Skye in Scotland, and this is one of the most famous spots in all of Scotland, and I think justifiably so, because really the landscape and everything is so beautiful. There are so many different subjects from so many different angles, and I would definitely suggest you to go there if you're anywhere near. But this picture was shot from a little bit of a different angle than what you usually see, because you see, if I zoom in here, there's a little path down here, and it might not seem like that far down here on the picture, but this is actually, I don't know how much exactly, but I would guess about 200 meters further down. And of course we have this grass in the foreground right here, but if we go forth and this ledge right here, this is where a very steep hillside goes down, which is actually just at the shrink of being able to go up without any hiking gear, I would say. So there's no paths, there's nothing, and that means of course there are very little people going up there. And I think it probably took me about, well, 40 minutes to get up there, so it's really quite a bit of a hike. But as you see, the view is amazing. You have still these amazing mountains from the Quiraing, of course, but you have a very unique kind of viewpoint that not too many people have. So let's just go on with the editing a little bit, and I'm definitely gonna bring up the shadows, bring up the highlights here, although I might not go quite by 100 with the shadows. And I also brought down the blacks quite a bit, so you get this very nice differentiation in the grass right here, and that way you really make it less cluttered and of course overall a bit more contrasty. And speaking of contrast, I think I've added a little bit of contrast here as well. So this is, I mean, you know, this edit was pretty much done in 5 minutes the first time I did it, because it really doesn't need any extreme edits. And as you surely know if you've seen any of my other pictures, once again, I like this very vibrant, this very in-your-face kind of look, and really play around with everything and dodge and burning and all of that stuff. But at the end, I really thought this picture needed a simpler edit with not so much going on, and with a relatively muted color and overall lighting scheme on the foreground. So there was quite a bit of mist and haze in the distance here, and there was actually a very big mist cloud towards the right here coming slowly in the scene, and I think that also helps to simplify everything once again. So let me go on with the editing a bit further. I've added a little bit of clarity right here, and vibrance and saturation I just left it where it was. Color temperature, I think I warmed up the scene just a little bit, and also added a little bit of magenta in the tint. And I also went down to the tonal curve, brought up the highlights by quite a lot, as well as the lights right here, so we at least get a little bit of differentiation in the foreground, but once again, really not nearly as much as in a picture like this. Then I'm gonna grab a very soft graduated filter just for the top right here, and go down a little bit into the exposure, so you have a nice differentiation from the left being relatively bright and dynamic, and the right being a little bit less dynamic and overall a bit darker. So as I pretty much say in all of my videos, that way you create a little bit more dynamic. I think this was actually pretty much all I've done to the picture. I might have just gone a bit into the negative exposure, so some of that dark and gloomy look comes back, which I really think works here for this photo. But yeah, that is pretty much it. I also thought about going into to black and white, and even though I really like the look of the background, I think for the foreground it looks too cluttered because you don't have the differentiation from the different hue tones and the shadows here in the greens in the foreground. So that's a great way to kind of decide whether black and white works or not, is just if color helps either in the overall look or in terms of differentiation from different hues. So once again, this is the entire picture, and it's very simple, a lot shorter than pretty much 99% of my other edits, but once again, it just works for this particular photo. And also a thing that I really love is this little road right here, which goes through the pictures along with these very small cars compared to this vast landscape and these very massive hills right here. So all of that combined make a very simplistic but also kind of fine artish looking picture, which I really think is a nice refreshing look compared to the very vibrant and the very in-your-face kind of look. And that was pretty much it for this episode, so just trying kind of a new format, and please let me know in the comments down below if you like this story mixed with editing, with a bit more emphasis on the actual story, on how I got the picture and all of that stuff. But yeah, thank you very much for watching as always, and once again let me know in the comments down below what you think of it. Have a great day and take care.